small, projects which they can now fund, which we can now assist in funding. And software development, if you look at India, some years ago, nobody actually knew what India was producing. But now, you can now look at India's IT, software development, outsourcing, and other areas in IT.
All right, let me take you back to the issue of the rural information technology centers, which you talked about. My understanding is that we have about 228 of them, that has already been set up across the nation. Now, what were the reasons behind this?
Well, the reason is to bring development to the grassroots. That is a grassroots-oriented program where information and communication technology is now sent to the doorstep of rural areas. Even though we have some challenges in setting up and then maintaining them, we have sustainability problems. For instance, we have frequent breakdown of our solar systems. We have, when the bandwidth expires, how do we actually renew them? Government will set up a program, and you can't actually do it forever. We know some programs are social problems. There should be an outlet. We need also some contribution from the community. And in most cases, it's not coming in the way we expect.
When you say contribution?
Contribution, well, suppose there was no IT in the community. You will still need to post letters. You will still need to get how you can do assignments, transmit messages. You have to find a way to actually talking to somebody outside the community. But now, information and communication technology has made it very easy. How? You can, send immediate messages to somebody several miles away. You can send documents, transmit documents far away because of information technology. You know how we are getting letters in those days, but now through IT you can get it. So what I'm trying to say is, if communities now get those services at their doorsteps, they can still contribute. And if a commercial operator will charging 150 naira per hour for using a cafe, if government sets up, even if you pay 50 naira, it goes a long way to actually supplement bandwidth provision in that community. Some communities actually do that. The communities I'm quoting from Ogun State, you can see how students are happy. After school, no job, but after about 6 months training in IT, they can now see jobs. They can now put data into computers, do minor document processing in the offices. So most of office duties are more efficient, more proficient because of that training. So with that, it actually develops the economy, because not everybody is now depending on government. At least some people can be self-employed. You can do web marketing, in several ways, stock, marketing, and so on. So with that, the economy actually becomes very vibrant. Yeah, if I use actually occupied in that way, there will even be less crime, in the society. The society is more purified, more informed. Government can do more e-government processes. E-governance is a scheme where government can actually provide services to its citizens through, using ICT. And people in those communities can now see birth rate, death rate, jingles, announcements from government, messaging becomes very easy in local governments.
What would you actually say has been the major prospect or major achievement for you as the Director General of this agency? And what other challenges or what other prospects do you have for the IT sector, in the next few years, even after you might have left office as DG?
Well, main focus is actually provide internet penetration to all citizens. Which way we can do that? Institutional, have been the main focus. The challenges have been acceptability of the projects, sustainability of the projects. Like when we are talking about rural information technology centers, how can we sustain them? How do we have to do it forever? Not really, because government funding cannot be forever. So sustainability of projects had been the case. At a point, we had a lot of problems on actually retention of qualified staff. How do we retain qualified staff? Because oil industry is there, banking is there, and software development agencies which were paying more. But now I think it's a little bit better now because we have been doing a lot, so that is not the case. But retention of staff has been a big problem in 2007, 2008. We still have a lot to do. We still need funds, more money, because more communities actually ready to actually use information ICT. And if you have that, you have to now deploy them, how to maintain it, how to sustain it. I think that is still a problem. The infrastructure in the country is also a challenge. For instance, we have solar energy systems. The conventional power may go off. How can we actually use our system? Because when the high tension power comes, maybe some of our solar systems may blow up. Continuous maintenance and backup.
Well, Prof, I really do hope that in the near future, and of course presently, that there will be a lot more support from indeed the government and other concerned stakeholders for us to really develop our IT sector in our rural communities and in our educational institutions, especially the primary and indeed the secondary level. We thank you so much for spending time with us and question time.
Yeah, thank you. Nice talking to you.
A real big assignment for the National Information Technology Development Agency NITDA to transform Nigeria into an IT-driven economy, you may say. But of course, if the words of Professor Cleopas Angaye are anything to go by, then Nigeria can indeed meet up with the Vision 2020, provided that all stakeholders collaborate with the agency to fashion out a creative implementation of an IT policy that will benefit the IT industry and also assist government's public-private partnership agenda in order to position information technology as the driving force of the nation's economy, which will in turn enable Nigeria to become a key player in the global information society. Now, a global IT rating of about 91 or 92 isn't that bad, and that's according to our guest, Professor Angaye, but efforts should be made to get to a single digit as soon as possible. We would like to see capacity building in the private and public sectors to be sustained and not forget the need to have a policy and regulation of software development locally to put an end to the importation of software into the country in order to create more jobs for millions of Nigerians. And above all, we must task NITDA to make sure that our communities and indeed our schools, particularly at the primary and secondary levels, are fully equipped with ICT facilities. Well, that's our package for this week. We do hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to send us your comments, questions, and suggestions to questiontime@channelstv.com, or you can watch us online also via channelstv.com. Till next week, I'm Ayotunde Balogun. It's bye for now.